I don't have a visual up there, so I'm just going to kind of go through the PowerPoint that we have. And it is called, it's Building Independence, Expanding Supported Services for Individuals with Intellectual Disabilities in Washington. We are fighting to have daily habilitations for, I'm glad we went after K and them, because our goal is to really promote independence. As a parent, and that's where I'm going to first come from, is as a parent. Secondly, I come as an educator that spent time in the school districts. So the key factors here is, what is the missing link in disability care? Well, there's a lot of them. One, we have an urgent need for expanding habilitation services for individuals with intellectual developmental disabilities. That is something that Washington really lacks. Washington also lacks structured daily habilitation services for individuals with intellectual disabilities, no matter what the tier is. Autism is a huge umbrella, and so we have so many different types of tiers. We're also lacking affordable housing. The wait list in Washington for a one person, and the majority of people that have a disability that get SSI is less than $1,000 a month. Their wait list for a low income apartment for one person is 3 to 5 years. However, these new policies that are being developed by DDCS, which used to be DDA, they are limiting our habilitation services to 6 months for a person that lives in home with family. The families already save the state millions of dollars of unpaid caregiving. Families do the majority of the work with these individuals. The access to habilitation should not depend solely on DDA. We have one right here, along with many that are getting denied for DDA services, which once they're denied, they don't get any support from the states at all. That is still solely relying on family to support all of their needs. Expanding habilitation coverage beyond DDA eligibility promotes equity. It promotes independence and it's sustainable while reducing state costs and recognizing that families are the essential partners in the community-based care. The gaps in access to the daily habilitation and life skills. Well, despite rising prevalence, many individuals, particularly here in Washington is one of the states that really lack access to consistent daily habilitation and independent living training. The economic and systemic implications, well, families currently fill service gaps through unpaid caregiving. They're the ones that's taking care of their family member the whole time, which is saving the states billions of dollars. Yet, the model is unsustainable. Evidence shows that structured community-based habilitation reduces crisis care costs and enhances employment and independent outcomes for individuals with IDD. We have lack of standardized habilitation services. Washington has no unified daily habilitation services. There are none. The family burden is, families are, again, filling service gaps as unpaid caregivers. We have gaps in post-school transition supports. So when students with intellectual disabilities exit special education or transition programs, there's no consistent statewide system to support them. There is such a high risk of institutionalization as our kids get older. And unless the state steps up and promotes and supports alternative living, that is only going to increase over the next couple of years. When we look at multi-generational living, roughly 18% of Americans live in a multi-generational household. We're one of them. This reflects both the cultural and the traditions of financial necessity. For many families, shared living supports caregiving, stability, and inclusion, particularly among communities of color and immigrant populations. Limiting or cutting services because of an individual living with their family is unfair. It penalizes the multi-generational households and contradicts principles of cultural equity. Habilitation should be available regardless of living arrangements to sustain families, promote independence, and strengthen the community-based environment. What are we asking? We're asking that mandated habilitation coverage under Medicaid and all private insurers, similarly to physical and occupational therapy. Eliminate the 6-month DDA service gap for individuals living with families to ensure continuity of care. We are asking that community-based cultural inclusive habilitation models that reflect multi-generational living and Washington's diverse populations. We're also asking that developmental funding to train habilitation specialists and ensure program sustainability. We want to integrate habilitation into transition and independent living programs for youth exiting the special education to prevent the regression of unemployment and the justice system involvement. Together we can ensure independence, dignity, and sustainability for individuals with IDD and their families in Washington State if we can move forward in the legislative for the habilitative daily services.
Thank you, Marie. I think, for legislators, we're educating them in these forums. They don't know. They don't have this data, right? That's why we come together. We educate our legislators because they don't live in our shoes, and it's necessary.